Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is going to be a short talk on Imam Hassan al-Islam, and the main ideas have been taken from the book 250 Years History of the Imams by Ayatullah Uzma Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Now, if Imam Hassan didn't opt for peace, Karbala wouldn't have taken place. What does it mean? This means that Imam Hassan would have been defeated, and all those Hashemites, all those who mattered from the progeny of the Prophet, they would have been killed in this battle. So, if Imam Hassan didn't opt for peace, Karbala wouldn't have taken place. This means that none of the members who participated in the Battle of Karbala would have been alive. Imam Hussain would have been killed, Hazrat Abbas would have been killed. All the other members of the family of the Prophet would have been killed. This peace treaty has been much criticized, but that was the wisest course of action which Imam Hassan conducted. Concept of Khilafat and Malukiyat. Khilafat started giving way to Malukiyat, and Khilafat turned into monarchy. And after the Khilafat-e-Rashida, this trend started taking place. Now, role of Hazrat Ammar Yasir in removing doubts. Hazrat Ammar Yasir would always come and bail out those people who were confused about the Battle of Siffin, because they were confused whether they should fight the civil war or they should disengage themselves. And Hazrat Ammar Yasir would explain to them that in the Battle of Badr, there were the forces of the Holy Prophet, and the opposing forces comprised mainly of the Banu Umayyah and the Quraysh. And that now you see in this Battle of Siffin, the same forces are there. One is siding with Hazrat Ali, the other with the Banu Umayyah. So the complexion has changed, but now both of them are Muslims apparently. So this is how he used to explain these things. The role of Banu Umayyah wanted power. Abu Sufyan embraced Islam at the time of Fatah Makkah. In 58 Al-Hijra, Imam Hassan became the caliph, and his caliphate lasted for 6 months. He was forced into a peace accord, and that was the most appropriate action that he took. 11 years hence, the tragedy of Karbala took place. The peace accord that Imam Hassan entered into may be compared to the peace treaty of Hudaybiyah, which the Prophet made in 6 Al-Hijra. Now, why Imam Hassan would have been defeated? Imam Hassan was able to raise a force of about 40,000, but it kept on diminishing in numbers because people were being bribed. The commander-in-chief of Imam Hassan's force was also bribed. So the result would have been inevitable, a defeat. But this way, politically, he managed to achieve victory, like the Prophet managed to achieve a political victory because of Sulh Hudaybiyah. With monarchy, Islam was robbed of its true spirit. A deliberate attempt was made to keep the people occupied in worldly pursuits at the cost of higher values. This was indicated by Hazrat Fatima Salamullah alayhi in one of her speeches after the demise of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his descendants. She cautioned the Muslim Ummah, where are you going? Meaning thereby that you should have been more loyal to your religion rather than to the worldly affairs, and you have started drifting towards worldly pursuits. So where are you going? You have deviated from your religion. You are not upholding the spirit of Islam. You have started going in for cheaper worldly pursuits. So with the complexion changing from Khilafat to Malukiyat, that is monarchy. Sycophants were encouraged, tyrants were made governors. The peace accord was severely criticized by some of the followers of Imam Hassan, who thought that he did not have the courage, you see, to face um, uh, Amir Sham. But that was not the right assessment on their part. He was courageous. He had the leadership abilities. He was a true descendant of the Prophet. He resembled the Prophet in so many ways. So his decision was the most appropriate one. Now, priorities of both groups were different. One group wanted absolute power, the other wanted sovereignty of Allah to prevail. One wanted to follow their own worldly desires, the other wanted to abide by the principles. Apparently, both sides were Muslims. There were the secular Muslims and there were the devout Muslims. Among the excesses committed by Amir Sham, one is the murder of Hajar bin Idi and his companions. The use of propaganda, planting of spies, bribery, torture, defamation, character assassination, and stifling of all dissenting voices was a common practice of Banu Umayyah. So much so that when Imam Ali was killed in Masjid Kufa uh, at the time of the Fajr prayers, people in Sham were surprised to learn that Ali was in Namaz. Now, the practice of landing Imam Ali in Jummah sermons continued from 61 Al-Hijri to 101 Al-Hijri, or a little less than that, you can say. It was Umar bin Abdul Aziz who banned this practice. So this practice continued for about 40 years. Umar Abdul Aziz also returned Bagh-e-Fidak to Alibat. He was indeed a truly practicing Muslim, a person who was very pious, who reminded one of the glorious period of the Khulafa Rashidin. So thank you very much. God bless you.